Malalele, my name is Shishua Alvekune, and I am from the beautiful Kingdom of Tonga, home to over 100,000 individuals with traditions and cultures rooted in nature, and oceans that stretch far beyond what your eyes could see. We are quite literally defined by our environment. Today I address you not as a climate activist or as a campaigner or even a countryman, but simply as youth. Tonga and her people are no stranger to the climate crisis, but rather, much like the rest of the Pacific, very familiar. Growing up in Tonga, you become accustomed to environmental disasters, whether it's sea level rise, tropical cyclones. And in 2018, I witnessed one of the scariest things in my life. Category 4 tropical cyclone Kita tore through the kingdom and left a trail of destruction behind. Houses lifted up off the ground, seemingly without weight. Miles of crops uprooted in gusts of wind. Historical infrastructure reduced to rubble, seemingly overnight. My family home, which had housed generations before me, held together by nails and cherished memories, now stood without a roof. And despite the amount of times that you experience a cyclone, you're never prepared for the worst. Not truly. It is the aftermath, the cleanup, sifting through rubble, the rebuilding. Sitting back and recognizing the depth of loss beyond economical, a loss of livelihood, a loss of security, a loss of identity, and worrying not what if it happens again, but when will it happen again? The rising sea level and tropical cyclones are not a statistic, but rather a representation of the threat towards the very essence of life in Tonga. And know that I'm not unique in this experience. I am one of many. And in that shared experience of loss exists a shared experience of resilience. Resilience that is more than a fight for survival, but a demand that our future generations are able to inherit the Pacific with dignity and are able to experience its wonders just as we did. The story of the Pacific and the climate crisis are often told as a tale of caution for what's to come if nothing is done. But at its core, it's a story of collaboration and a story of resolution. And if it must be a tale of caution, then let it be caution to governments that have failed to act. The Pacific will not be a passive observer, but rather a leader for the fight for climate justice. I share with you my story today with hopes that it motivates you to act, to demand that your governments act. We must stand together in solidarity to ensure that we secure a future for us all. Evlewe malama tuafat.
Namaskar. Me, Aditi Shetty. I am Aditi Shetty, and I come from Mumbai, the coastal city in India by the Arabian Sea. I speak to you today because India is one of the most climate vulnerable countries in the world. In 2023 and 2024, the northern parts of India experienced long heat waves surpassing 50 degrees Celsius, which led to melting glaciers in the Himalayan mountains. Contrastingly, the coastal regions have faced increasing number of devastating flash floods, storms, and cyclones, which have destroyed and wiped out many towns and villages, claiming thousands of lives. Growing up, I saw the impact of climate change firsthand. My hometown of Ratnagiri is renowned for its seasonal crop, the hapusamba, the Alfonso mango, a kind that only grows in this coastal region and sustains the regional economy. But due to unpredictable weather patterns and natural disasters, the crop fails. The erratic weather patterns have significantly disrupted cultivation and led to suffering of farmers. My home state, Maharashtra, has the highest rate of farmer suicides in the country. These rates have increased over the last decade not just due to rising costs, but also because of impacts of unpredictable weather on agriculture. This crisis is not just environmental. It is also a human rights issue. The livelihoods of local communities are at great risk. Our food security is threatened. The most vulnerable people are the most affected people. The climate challenges we face are deeply rooted in our colonial history, yet we still strive to do more than our share. We need stronger policy changes globally and with the consensus of the international community, a consensus that could be enforced by the law. Today, I share this story in the hope that those who hear it will be motivated to take the right and just action. This is a global crisis that we face only through collective action.
Wami hiro Samira Ben Ali, Wami Maori. My name is Samira Ben Ali and I'm from Mayotte. Mayotte is a small French island located in the Indian Ocean, just next to Madagascar, in the Comoros archipelago. It is home to over 340,000 people. When you look at it from a satellite view, Mayotte resembles a small hippocampus in the ocean, surrounded by a double coral barrier. It is a truly stunning place, full of life. There are mountains on one side and beaches on the other. People there have a truly strong connection to their land. If I'm standing before you today, it's because my island is facing a threat like no other before. Weather patterns have changed, with less rain every year. Cyclones are becoming more violent and damaging. The sea level is rising, submerging homes, and pushing people further into the lands. Our biodiversity is also threatened. Our coral reefs are bleaching at an exponential rate. Scientists fear that if nothing changes in the next 50 years, our reef could just collapse. With each passing year, I'm seeing these changes happening in my islands because of a problem that we did not cause. People in my family are struggling to find water to drink and to go on their daily activities because there's just not enough rain. This global crisis is a crisis to our human rights. Our right to water, to livelihood, to housing, and so much more is being threatened. We're bearing the burden of this crisis while having contributed nothing to the emissions that have caused it. Those in power have a duty to protect our human rights through the development of strong international law mechanisms. We need a clear understanding of the obligations of states in regard to climate change, so that we can put in place mitigation and adaptation measures that will respond to this urgent crisis. Today, I share my story in the hope that those who hear it will be motivated to act. We must join together in solidarity to secure a just future for us all.
My name is Maya Sayed, and I'm from the megacity of Lahore in Pakistan. Lahore is home to approximately 15 million people and is part of a large agricultural province called Punjab. Growing up in the neighborhood, I was surrounded by lush wheat and mustard green crop fields, and the air, always so refreshing, smelt of soil, connecting me with nature despite being a metropolitan city. However, Lahore in recent years has been suffering from some of the worst air quality due to toxic smog, a mix of smoke and fog. On the air quality index, it has hovered around the 400 mark, 40 times higher than the World Health Organization's safe limits. According to the latest statistics, residents of Lahore are losing between 4 to 5 years of their life expectancy. In the past year alone, there has been a significant increase in reported cases of lung cancer and 22,000 adult premature deaths. climate change is impacting our basic right to life in the most unequal and unsustainable way. Today, I stand on behalf of my community in the hope that even single representative voices can be heard to bring systemic change. We need collaborative actions from those in power and authority. We need states and their governments to think collectively about how their emissions and their actions impact beyond their territorial boundaries. We need governments to protect human rights principles and to safeguard our shared future.